Now, let's think about it. We're in this crazy time right now with the coronavirus. It's scary, right? A lot of people are struggling that have these retail businesses, right? So talk about someone who has a restaurant. And from the three that you just described to me, right, I would say convenience makes the most sense from that realm of the world. But to create cash flow for people like that, right, to give an example of how someone that owns a restaurant would do this.
Well, restaurants can do it in a variety of different ways. Like one would be, certainly giving okay, let me back up. Let me give you an example. Okay, so a buddy of mine, Mike, he owns a pita pit franchise. I don't know if everybody listening has experienced it, but it's kind of like a Subway. So he owns a pita pit franchise, and he called me up and he said, Stu, like, I know you're doing this like online marketing stuff. He's like, how would I use it for, my restaurant? I said, okay. I said, here's what I want you to do. When people are checking out at the counter, I want you to ask them if they want to join your free VIP group. He said, okay. And the only thing they got to do is they got to submit their name and email address. I said, when you get to 1,000 emails, give me a call. So he got to 1,000 emails. Then he says, okay, I got 1,000 emails. What do you want me to do? I said, okay, well, let's design a quick little email campaign. So it was a very simple email campaign, Eric. Basically, we went out to that list. We said, hey, great to have you as a VIP. We got great news. Tomorrow, I'm going to send you a message that is going to let you know about something very special that we've got going on Tuesday. So whatever you do, all I want you to do is just mark down Tuesday on your calendar, because this is going to be, something incredibly special. You're going to want to come into the restaurant. And so I said to Mike, I said, when is your like lowest hours, like the worst time, when sales are the lowest? He said, normally from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. I said, perfect. So then I wrote the email campaign for him. And I said, basically like the next day, the next email was, okay, here's what's going on Tuesday. We've got a 2-for-1 special. Meaning you can come into the restaurant, you can buy as many pitas as you want, and you get 2 for 1. And I said like, yes, even our most expensive pitas. Like I was really playing it up. So anyway, then the day before on the Monday, we sent another email. Don't forget, tomorrow's the day. And then on Tuesday morning, I sent an email. He called me at 11 a.m., Eric, and he's like, dude, this is crazy. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, we've had more people in the store than ever. He's like, this is our second highest record day already, and we haven't even got to our normal busy times. So I said, perfect. So then I quickly drew up another email and sent it out, and I said, this is crazy. We've had more people in the store than ever before. And dude, this was so ghetto in the way that we did this. We just kept it simple. We told people the way to redeem this 2-for-1 offer was to literally print out the email and bring it into the store. Like we didn't have some fancy like coupon mechanism or nothing like that. It was just print out the email. So this was super simple, just seeing if it worked. But it's direct response at its finest. And so when I think about restaurants, I think about they're very passive in the sense that they're always hoping that people are going to come back and buy from them again. What I'd love to see is restaurants take more ownership over how they can intentionally bring people back into the restaurant on a more regular basis. And so whether that is through like a free VIP thing, that's not a monthly subscription, but you could take an example like, Burger King. Burger King of all restaurants, okay, Eric? Burger King has a monthly subscription. You pay $5 a month and you can get unlimited coffee. Now, why would Burger King do that? Are they known for their coffee? No, not at all. But it's like a lost leader. Yes, it's generating recurring revenue for them each month. But when people come in to get that coffee, are they going to be much more likely to buy something extra as well? Of course. So what they're doing is they're increasing the frequency upon which people are coming into the restaurant and buying more often. So the membership is a way certainly to create that monthly cash flow, but it's also a way to bring people back into the restaurant on a more frequent basis and drive up those average transactions. So there's a whole bunch of ways that restaurants can get creative, but you just got to start thinking about it. Another way is just with deliveries. Instead of like, I know for us, like we as a family, we have a weekly pizza night. Imagine if the restaurant, instead of like hoping that we were going to come back and buy from them again, what if they put us on a weekly thing? We would do it. You know what I mean? And save a few bucks. That'd be a home run. Like, I just think right now, is the time to begin thinking creatively. And my wife and I, we buy these cold pressed juices, and we love these cold pressed juices, and we buy a lot of them. And when we called the company up recently, to place our order, my wife said, "Is there any way that like we could just put this on a subscription? Like instead of having to each week come and place the order, can you just like send that to us automatically?" And they're like, right. "Oh, no, we don't do that." And I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, like why? Make it easy for people. Like, let me give you money on a regular right. basis." You know what I'm saying?
Here's my workshop is at 3:00. Come on.
Exactly.
Come on. Right.
So I just think that, what this has done more than anything is the whole coronavirus has just exposed businesses to their vulnerabilities. And what I want to encourage people to do is that there is so many ways that you can shore up those vulnerabilities, especially when you start thinking about memberships and recurring revenue. And so it's about taking somebody from a one-time buyer and turning them into a recurring buyer. Sorry if you hear my dog. This is
all good. He's getting excited about the
memberships. Working from home.
No, it's all good. It's another thing that creeps into my mind when I think about memberships is people want to feel like they're part of something and they want to feel important, right? So when you bring up VIP, we know that people strive for two things: love and status, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're part of a membership, the ability to have some special things that they get that no one else gets is powerful, and people want to be a part of something. They want to feel like they're part of something, right? A tribe, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting too, because we're starting to see in the last year, we started to see a lot of membership models in the e-commerce space, like product seller space, emerge. One of them is just really simply modeling Amazon Prime. If you think of Amazon Prime, we pay an annual fee. That's a membership. And for that, we get a bunch of different perks. We get faster shipping. We may get slight discounts. But we're starting to see a lot of our people in our community who are like e-commerce or product sellers utilizing this VIP model, where again, their members are paying either a monthly or annual basis, but it gets them access to perks like the faster shipping, like exclusive access to certain products, like the ability to pre-order products before anybody else, all that kind of stuff. And people are willing to pay because, just like you said, they like having that that VIP privilege or access. And totally. So again, this is just about opening up our minds. I think of Beth. She owns a pet grooming business, and so of course, like this whole coronavirus thing has just like brought everything to a screeching halt. So she started thinking creative, like, okay, how could I take this membership idea and apply it to my market? And she said, well, what's their number one pressing problem right now? Well, if they're like us, they've got a shaggy dog that is a mess that needs to be groomed. And so we're just chomping at the bit, like, when can we get into that, pet grooming salon? So she sent out an email to her clients and she said, we're starting a new service. It's essentially a VIP service. And it's basically, so people are paying on a monthly basis, and it will put them on where they can have regularly scheduled appointments that are all automatic. She said, but the most important thing is the moment that we can open doors, all of our VIP members will have priority access to getting their pets groomed first. So that's great. What happened was she created this cash, surge. She generated just over $31,000 in month number one from these customers. I mean, that's going to be close to $400,000 in annual revenue just from that initial promotion. And so there's absolutely ways to get creative with this. You just got to start thinking about how to take a buyer from a one-time purchase and turn it into a monthly recurring membership.